Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. I'm New. Today I want to talk about a very interesting economic phenomenon, the Jevons Paradox. So before we get started, let me give you a quick overview of what I'll be talking about today. So this presentation is divided into 5 parts. First of all, I'll share a real-world contradiction that caught my attention. Then I'll explain what the Jevons paradox is. After that, we'll look at how this paradox shows up in everyday life. In the fourth part, I'll explore the economic logic behind it. And finally, I'll share some possible solutions that I believe could help break this cycle. Well, let me start with something that I came across recently. It was a news story that really surprised me and made me wonder why things work the way they do. As you can see, this is a photo of some Chinese workers taking serious risks to clean inside of the huge industrial machines. With AI being so advanced today, it really made me wonder why are we still using human labor for such dangerous tasks? This contradiction immediately remembered me of the Jevons Paradox. Well, let's break this contradiction down into 3 key points. First, there's a huge cost difference. In many industrial settings, AI cleaning robot costs approximately 18 times more than using human workers. This big gap makes companies hesitate when choosing between safety and cost. Second, because of this, many businesses still choose human labor, even though it's risky. It's simply cheaper in the short term, so they go with manual cleaning to save money. And third, this is exactly where we see the Jevons paradox in action. AI is clearly more efficient and safer, but it's not widely used because the economic cost blocks its application. So, just like the paradox says, higher efficiency doesn't always lead to reduced use of risky or costly resources. To really understand this problem, we need to look at the Jevons paradox, an idea from economics that explains why improving efficiency doesn't always mean using less. Here is a quick chart that shows the history of coal use in the UK from 1860 to 2010. At first, you might expect that as technology improved, we will use less coal, but that's not what happened. In fact, coal consumption went up significantly, even during times of improved efficiency. The Jevons paradox was observed by economist William Jevons in the 19th century. He found that when resource efficiency improves, it doesn't always lead to less consumption. Sometimes it actually leads to more. Here is one example. In 1865, the British steel industry made a big improvements. Efficiency increased by 53%, meaning they needed much less coal to produce the same amount of steel. But instead of coal use going down, total coal consumption actually increased by 2.7 times. It is because better efficiency lowered production costs, increased profits, attracted investment, and led to even more production, which required even more coal. This is the core of Jevons paradox. More efficiency can actually create more demand. There are three reasons. First, people use it more, like running your air conditioner longer because it's energy saving. Second, people spend the saved money on other things that also use energy. And third, efficiency can help the economy grow, which means more people, more businesses, and more energy use. Well, because of the time, I'm going to move quickly through the next few slides. They show how the Jevons Paradox appears in daily life, like food delivery app and LED lighting. If you are interested, feel free to pause the video and take a closer look. Alright, now let's talk about the logic behind all of this. For example, the training of GPT-3 has become much more energy efficient. It uses 68% less energy than before. That sounds great, right? But in reality, the total energy used by AI is going way up. By 2025, data centers may use as much electricity as an entire country, like Japan. That's because efficiency drives demand, and demand drives more consumption. And the problem doesn't stop there because labor is cheap. Companies don't feel pressure to invest in AI. This sends the wrong message to investors, like we don't need innovation. So tech development slows down. That's not because the tech is bad, but because the economic signals are distorted by short-term thinking. So how do we break this cycle? Well, one possible answer is smart policy intervention. For example, in Singapore, the government links AI investment to insurance and tax incentives. When companies buy AI equipment, they can get tax reductions, and if workplace injuries go down, their insurance costs go down too. This kinds of policy encourages companies to invest in AI, not just for efficiency, but also for safety. Over time, this creates a positive cycle: safer workers, more innovation, and smarter resource use. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening.